Sarah stood in front of her bathroom mirror, staring at her reflection. Her hands trembled as she adjusted the collar of her navy blue blouse. Today was the day that could change everything. She was about to walk into the building that held her dream job, the one she had worked so hard to prepare for. Her long brown hair was neatly pulled into a ponytail, and her bright green eyes held a mix of excitement and nervousness. It had taken years of hard work, countless applications, and a relentless pursuit of her goal. But now, she was standing at the threshold of her future. This wasn't just another job interview, it was the job. The one that could make her dreams come true. The one that could launch her career in ways she had always imagined. "Are you ready?" asked Alex, her best friend and biggest supporter. He was leaning against the doorframe, his short, messy hair and easy grin always able to calm her nerves. "I think so," Sarah replied, her voice shaky but filled with hope. "I have prepared for this moment my whole life, but what if I am not good enough?" Alex gave her a reassuring smile. "You're more than enough. You have got everything they are looking for." Sarah took a deep breath, straightened her back, and nodded. She was not just going to try today, she was going to make them see that she was the best choice for the job. No more doubts, no more hesitations. This was her time. With one last look in the mirror, she stepped forward. Today, she was not just Sarah. She was someone ready to step into her future. Sarah entered the sleek office building, her heart racing with excitement and nerves. She was dressed in a smart professional outfit, a navy blue blazer, white blouse, and black pants. Her brown hair was neatly pulled back into a ponytail, and her bright green eyes reflected the confidence she hoped to project. The high heels she wore made her feel taller, but also reminded her how serious this was. As she entered the lobby, she could feel the buzz of the workplace, the fast-paced energy, the people hurrying to and from meetings. It was everything she had imagined. "Welcome," the receptionist greeted, smiling as Sarah approached the desk. "You must be here for the interview. Please take a seat and someone will be with you shortly." The minutes ticked by slowly as Sarah sat nervously in the waiting area, reviewing her resume one last time. Her mind raced, thinking of all the things she had prepared to say. But what if they did not like her? What if she was not enough? Just as she started to overthink, the door opened and a woman in a sharp suit walked in. She was tall with short, sleek hair, her demeanor confident and professional. "Sarah, right?" she asked, holding out her hand. "Yes, that's me," Sarah replied, shaking her hand firmly. "I am Rebecca, the head of marketing here," the woman said, leading Sarah into a modern conference room. "We have been looking forward to meeting you." The interview began, and Sarah's nerves slowly began to melt away as she spoke about her experience and ideas. Rebecca and the other executives, Nathaniel and David, asked questions about her past work and how she would approach certain challenges. Sarah spoke with passion, explaining how her creativity and dedication had driven her to apply for this position. She felt herself gaining confidence with each answer. But then came the question that made her pause. "What sets you apart from the other candidates?" Rebecca asked, looking at her with curiosity. For a moment, Sarah hesitated. She had prepared for many questions, but this one made her think about what truly made her special. With a deep breath, she responded, "I believe I am not just a marketer, I am a storyteller. I want to create campaigns that connect with people, not just sell to them. I want to make an impact." Rebecca seemed impressed, nodding thoughtfully. "That's a unique perspective, Sarah. We like that." Sarah smiled, feeling a surge of hope. The interview was not over yet, but she could already tell she had made an impression. The interview was over, but Sarah could not shake the feeling of uncertainty that lingered. She had done well, or at least she thought so, but now came the hardest part: waiting. Sarah spent the next few days alternating between hope and doubt. She threw herself into her work at her part-time job, trying to stay busy, but every moment was consumed with thoughts of the interview. Her phone seemed to be glued to her hand as she checked for any updates. Nothing. Silence. Alex noticed the change in her mood. "You're checking your phone like it's a life or death situation," he teased one evening as he walked into her apartment. His short, messy hair was still damp from a run, and he smiled at her in a way that made her feel a little less anxious. "I just don't know, Alex," Sarah admitted, her green eyes full of worry. "What if they do not call? What if someone else is better for the job? I do not know if I am good enough." Alex sat down next to her, offering a comforting smile. "Sarah, you've worked for this. You have got the skills and the passion, but you cannot control everything. All you can do is wait and see what happens." Sarah sighed, knowing he was right. It was just hard to turn off the constant doubts. She had been dreaming of this opportunity for so long, and now it felt like it was slipping away from her. The days stretched on, and Sarah continued to wait. The frustration began to grow, and she found herself second-guessing everything she had said during the interview. What if she had messed up her answers? What if they did not think she was right for the role? Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the phone rang. Sarah's heart jumped in her chest as she picked up. "Hello? Hi, is this Sarah?" The voice on the other end was calm but professional. "Yes, this is she," Sarah replied, trying to stay calm. "This is Nathaniel from GQ Marketing. We were impressed with your interview, and we had like to invite you for a second round. Are you available next week?" Sarah could not help but smile, relief washing over her. Yes, I am available. Thank you." As she hung up the phone, her heart raced with excitement. It was not over yet, but it was a second chance to prove she was ready for this. Sarah was determined not to let the excitement overwhelm her. The second interview felt like her last chance to prove herself. She had already come so far, and now it was time to make sure she stood out even more. The days leading up to the second round were filled with preparation. Sarah spent hours researching the company's latest campaigns, revising her portfolio, and practicing her responses. This time, she would not leave anything to chance. She needed to show them she was not just a good candidate, she was the best choice for the job. The morning of the interview, Sarah woke up early. Her hair was neatly tied into a ponytail again, her professional outfit ready, and her bright green eyes sparkled with focus. Her confidence was back, and this time she was not nervous. She was ready. As Sarah walked into the office building again, she couldn't help but feel a sense of déjà vu. The lobby was just as sleek as it had been during the first interview, and the receptionist greeted her warmly. This time, though, there was a sense of purpose in Sarah's step. She had a mission. "Welcome back, Sarah," Rebecca said as she greeted her in the conference room. "We are glad to see you again. Let's dive right in." The interview began, and the conversation flowed smoothly. Nathaniel, Rebecca, and a new face, David, the director of marketing, asked her about her ideas for the company, her approach to leadership, and how she handled stressful situations. Sarah spoke with clarity, sharing her vision for how the company could connect better with its audience and bring fresh, innovative ideas to the table. Then came the question Sarah had been waiting for. "If we hired you, what would be your first move as part of the team?" David asked, his eyes studying her carefully. Sarah paused for just a moment, then spoke confidently. "My first priority would be to focus on the team. Marketing is not just about strategies, it's about collaboration. I did spend time getting to know everyone and understanding their strengths. That way, we can create campaigns that truly reflect the creativity and skills of the team as a whole." Rebecca smiled, nodding approvingly. "That's a great approach. We like to work as a team here, and it's important that we bring out the best in everyone." Sarah felt a sense of pride. She knew this was her moment to shine, and she was doing just that. As the interview came to a close, Sarah walked out of the room with a renewed sense of hope. It was not over yet, but she felt like she had given everything she had. The hardest part, of course, was the waiting, but for the first time in weeks, Sarah felt a quiet sense of peace. She had done her best. Now, she just had to wait for the outcome. The days after the second interview were agonizing. Sarah tried to focus on her current work, but all she could think about was whether she would get the job. She couldn't help but check her email constantly, hoping for some signaling sign that she had made the right impression. She had already told Alex about the interview. "You have done everything you can," Alex had reminded her. "Now, it's just about letting things fall into place." Despite his encouragement, Sarah still found herself overthinking. What if they did not like her ideas? What if someone else was a better fit? She could not shake the feeling that she had said the wrong thing or missed an opportunity to shine. It was just another evening when Sarah heard the familiar buzz of her phone. She picked it up instantly, her heart racing. It was an email from GQ Marketing. "Dear Sarah," the email began, "we would like to inform you that after careful consideration, we are pleased to offer you the position." Her breath caught in her throat. She read the words again, just to make sure she wasn't imagining it. "We are excited to have you on our team." The words seemed to echo in her head. She could not believe it. After all the stress, the doubts, the waiting, it had paid off. She had done it. Her hands were shaking as she texted Alex, her heart still pounding in her chest. "I got it," she typed, her excitement spilling over. Within seconds, Alex called her. "What's the good news?" he asked, unable to hide his excitement. "I got the job, Alex," Sarah exclaimed, practically jumping up and down. "I'm going to work at GQ Marketing." Alex laughed, clearly thrilled for her. "I knew you could do it. You earned it, Sarah. All that hard work paid off." As Sarah hung up the phone, she couldn't stop smiling. It was not just about the job. It was about proving to herself that she could achieve what she had always dreamed of. But in that moment, she knew that this was just the beginning. Sarah could not believe it was finally happening. After months of dreaming, preparing and waiting, today was the day she would start at GQ Marketing. She stood in front of her mirror, adjusting her navy blazer. Her long brown hair was neatly tied into a ponytail, and her bright green eyes reflected a mixture of excitement and nerves. The job she had worked so hard to get was now a reality. The office was just as impressive as she had imagined, with floor-to-ceiling windows, sleek, modern furniture, and the buzz of people working toward a common goal. As she entered the building, her heart raced. The lobby was bustling, and people walked by with purpose, their footsteps echoing through the large space. A sense of determination filled the air, and Sarah felt a quiet confidence growing within her. She had worked so hard to be here. Now, it was time to prove herself. "Good morning, Sarah." Rebecca greeted her as soon as she stepped off the elevator. "We are happy to have you join us." "Thank you. I am excited to be here," Sarah replied, offering a warm smile. Her voice was steady, though she still felt a flutter in her chest. Rebecca led Sarah to her desk, which was situated near the marketing team's workspace. Sarah's new colleagues were already at work, heads bent over laptops, discussing the latest campaigns. As she settled into her seat, she felt the weight of the responsibility on her shoulders. But she was not afraid. This was what she had wanted. She was ready. The first few hours flew by as Sarah sat in on meetings, familiarizing herself with ongoing projects and meeting the rest of the team. It was a lot to take in, and at times, Sarah felt a little overwhelmed. The fast-paced nature of the company was exactly what she had signed up for, but there were moments when she wondered if she was really ready for all of it. "Hey, Sarah," one of her new teammates, Carla, said as she stopped by her desk. Carla was in her 30s, with short black hair and a warm smile. "I know it's a lot to absorb today, but don't worry. You will get the hang of things in no time." Sarah smiled gratefully. "Thanks, Carla. I'm just trying to keep up." "You will do fine," Carla reassured her before heading back to her desk. The day ended quickly, but as Sarah left the office, she could not help but feel both proud and a little drained. It had been a lot of information to process, and she was just beginning to understand the scope of her new role. But the most important thing was that she had made it through her first day, and she had done it with confidence. That night, as she lay in bed, Sarah could not help but smile. She was where she had always dreamed of being, but she knew that the real work was just beginning. As the weeks passed, Sarah quickly realized that the excitement of landing her dream job was only the beginning of a much tougher journey. The work was intense, and the expectations were higher than she had ever imagined. On her second week, she was assigned to lead a campaign for one of the company's biggest clients. At first, Sarah felt elated. She had worked hard to earn this position, and now she was being trusted with a major project. But soon, the reality of the challenge began to hit. The pressure was immense, and every decision she made felt like it could determine the success or failure of the campaign. She spent long hours in meetings, reviewing strategies and brainstorming ideas. The team's creativity was unmatched, but every time Sarah made a suggestion, she second-guessed herself. Were they good ideas, or were they too risky? What if the client did not like them? One afternoon, she found herself staring at her laptop screen, feeling completely stuck. She had written and rewritten the campaign proposal a dozen times, but nothing felt right. The deadline was approaching, and the stress of delivering the perfect presentation was overwhelming. "Sarah, how's the campaign going?" Rebecca asked, walking into her office. "I think I am stuck," Sarah admitted, her voice tinged with frustration. "I cannot seem to get the proposal right. Every time I look at it, it feels off." Rebecca smiled gently, sitting down across from her. "It's okay to feel like that. The pressure is high, but you have got this. Just take a step back and breathe. Remember why you're here, because you have great ideas." Sarah appreciated the reassurance, but the pressure was still there. She needed to prove herself, not just her team, but to herself. The thought of failing haunted her, but deep down she knew that success was not about being perfected, was about learning and growing. That evening, after a long day at the office, Sarah called Alex, her voice weary. "I don't know if I can do this. It's harder than I thought." "You can, Sarah," Alex said, his voice full of encouragement. "I know it's tough, but you have always pushed through the hard times. Don't let doubt hold you back now." Sarah closed her eyes, letting his words sink in. She had come this far because of her hard work and passion. It was not just about getting things right on the first try, it was about learning from the process. The next day, Sarah returned to the campaign proposal with a clearer mind. She stopped focusing on perfection and started focusing on the message. Slowly but surely, the ideas began to flow and the proposal started to come together. By the end of the week, Sarah presented the proposal to her team. It was not perfect, but it was a solid plan that reflected her vision and her growth. The team gave their feedback, and with a few adjustments, the campaign was ready to go. As Sarah walked out of the meeting room, she felt a sense of relief. It was not easy, but she had pushed through, and for the first time since she started, she felt like she truly belonged. Sarah's confidence grew as she continued to settle into her role. The campaign she had worked on had been a success, and the client was impressed with the results. It was a small victory, but it felt like a major step forward. However, with success came more challenges. Sarah found herself juggling multiple projects at once, each demanding more of her time and energy. She was constantly meeting with clients, reviewing proposals, and attending team meetings. The fast-paced environment that had once excited her now left her feeling drained. One evening, after a particularly long day at the office, Sarah found herself sitting at her desk, staring blankly at her computer screen. Her eyes were tired and her mind was racing. There were so many things she needed to do, and yet she felt like she could not keep up. That's when Rebecca walked in, her usual calm demeanor contrasting with the exhaustion in Sarah's eyes. "How are you doing, Sarah?" she asked, taking a seat beside her. "I'm just overwhelmed," Sarah admitted, her voice a little shaky. "There's so much to do, and I feel like I'm not doing enough." Rebecca smiled gently, her gaze steady and reassuring. "You are doing great, Sarah. You are pushing yourself, and you are learning every day. But don't forget, it's okay to take a break. You don't have to do it all at once." Sarah felt a wave of relief wash over her. She had been so focused on achieving perfection that she had forgotten the importance of balance. She was not alone in this journey. Her team was there to support her, and they believed in her abilities. The next day, Sarah made a conscious effort to take things one step at a time. She prioritized her tasks, asked for help when needed, and made sure to take short breaks to recharge. Slowly, she began to regain her sense of control. Then, the next breakthrough came. She was given the opportunity to lead another campaign, but this time she had more freedom to explore creative ideas. The project felt like a true collaboration, with Sarah's team working together to bring their collective vision to life. The client was impressed, and the campaign exceeded expectations. As Sarah stood in the conference room, receiving praise from Rebecca and the rest of the team, she could not help but smile. She had done it. She had not only proven herself, but had grown in ways she had not imagined. She wasn't just surviving anymore, she was thriving. As the months went by, Sarah's confidence continued to grow. She had found her rhythm at GQ Marketing, balancing her workload with more ease. She was no longer overwhelmed by the pressure. She had learned to take on challenges without doubting her abilities, and her colleagues respected her for it. However, despite her success at work, something was missing. Sarah had been so focused on her career that she had neglected the parts of her life that made her truly happy. Her weekends had become filled with work, and her time with friends and family had become less frequent. The balance she had fought so hard to find in her professional life was still lacking when it came to her personal life. One evening, Sarah sat down to dinner with Alex. He had been her closest friend since college, and even though they both had busy lives now, they still made time for each other. "Sarah, you are doing amazing things at work," Alex said as they shared a meal, "but I feel like I have not seen you in forever. You are always so focused on your job. What happened to your time for yourself?" Sarah paused, realizing how much truth there was in his words. "I know. I have been so focused on achieving everything I have dreamed of, but I think I have forgotten to enjoy the process." Alex smiled knowingly. "Don't get me wrong, I'm proud of you. You've worked hard to get here, but you need to take care of yourself too. What's the point of achieving all this success if you are not happy along the way?" His words hit home. Sarah had been so focused on climbing the corporate ladder that she had forgotten to live in the moment. She had not spent quality time with her family, or even just enjoyed her favorite hobbies, like reading or hiking. The next day, Sarah made a decision. She was going to make more time for the things she loved, the things that brought her joy outside of work. She started to schedule regular breaks to recharge, spend weekends with friends, and make time for herself. She also reconnected with her family, arranging dinner dates with her parents, and catching up with old friends. Sarah found that the more she reconnected with her personal life, the more fulfilled she felt. It was a reminder that success was not just about career achievements, it was about living a well-rounded, balanced life. The day Sarah had been waiting for had finally arrived. After months of hard work, personal growth, and overcoming challenges, Sarah was offered a promotion within GQ Marketing. She had been given the opportunity to step into a leadership role position she had once only dreamed of. Rebecca called her into her office to discuss the details. "Sarah, we have been incredibly impressed with your work, your leadership, and your ability to handle pressure. We believe you are ready for more responsibility. We had like to offer you a managerial position within the team." Sarah's heart skipped a beat. This was everything she'd been working for, but it was also a reminder of how far she had come. She had been the nervous, unsure girl who once doubted her ability to succeed. Now, she was ready to take on more. "I'm honored," Sarah replied, her voice steady. "I have worked hard to get here, and I'm ready for this challenge. But I also know that leadership is about more than just managing projects, about empowering others and building a team that thrives together." Rebecca smiled warmly, clearly pleased by Sarah's response. "Exactly. You've learned that it's not just about your own success, it's about lifting those around you. We believe you're the right person for the job." As Sarah walked back to her desk, the weight of the promotion settled in. She was not just taking on a new role, she was stepping into a new chapter of her life. It was not going to be easy, and there would be more challenges ahead. But she was ready for them. She had worked hard for everything she had achieved, and she knew that the future was hers to shape. Later that evening, Sarah called Alex to share the good news. "I did it, Alex," she said, her voice filled with pride. "I got the promotion." "I knew you could do it," Alex exclaimed. "I'm so proud of you. You've worked so hard for this." Sarah smiled, feeling a sense of fulfillment that was deeper than any professional achievement. She had realized that true success wasn't just about reaching the top, it was about growth, balance, and making a difference in the lives of others. As Sarah sat on her balcony, looking out over the city, she felt a sense of peace. She had achieved her dream job, but now she had also found something even more valuable: the ability to enjoy the journey, embrace the challenges, and live life fully, both professionally and personally. This was just the beginning.